I'm gonna put the second part to this link where they're talking about Reagan. Just so happens that Reagan has a documentary about his life. I only watched like a few minutes of it, and it's like I had to turn it off but the first part of this documentary, which it was like they're trying to make him look like a hero. They're trying to make monuments about him. They're trying to write books so that he goes down in history as a really great guy. And that's where, you develop your belief systems, is know that there's a big, massive corporate machine that's writing books, creating history to make you believe what it is they want you to believe. Now, in this interview, I'll put a link below. Reagan was one of the worst presidents ever. It's like he created more debt. He killed more people. No wonder the guy got Alzheimer's. When he seen the destruction of what he did, he lost his mind. That was something worthy of forgetting. And yet his family wants to, make him look like he's this big hero. So his family is putting so much money to rewrite all of the history books, build as many monuments as possible in street names, everything you can possibly do to make this guy look like a hero. So well, I'm kind of saying that everything you think is true happens to be completely false. You can go back in history. I'm seeing so many people that says, do your research, understand what happened in history. Do you have any idea who wrote most of those books? There was a rich guy that wanted to manipulate the future into believing what the past was, and it's all a friggin' lie. There is no history books that are telling the truth. There's zero in history that you will ever find that's truthful. That's why we are where we are today. Everything in history is fucked up, is wrong. And if they hero-wise make a hero out of villains, then you'll think that, oh, what they did was right. Well, that's why I'm kind of, there was one guy, it was a radio show, and he was going, oh, he studied history, but the same guy says that they've never had poverty, they've never had a homeless problem in the United States up until just a few years ago. And it's like, this guy needed to be reading a little bit more recent information, kind of opening his eyes to seeing that, yeah, you've had homeless people for an awful long time, but you just chose never to look at it. But while you're so busy looking in all of the history books that are written by these villains trying to make you believe that they were some kind of god, you're going to believe it. You're messed up. Don't read any history books. And where do you find most history books? In schools! As they try to manipulate and brainwash you in a school system. So it's quite ironic that students are protesting, and it's like, I really wish students would protest for a completely different form of education, because right now your education system is trying to brainwash you into everything that's wrong. And if you really, really want to do what's good, then it's, think outside the box, not keep yourself inside a box, because that box is so friggin' wrong. But let's watch our world collapse. So take a look at this link, see what Reagan really is. He was far from a hero. This is what causes Alzheimer's. When you end up seeing a reflection of how much bad you've done in the world, you will want to forget it big time, and you'll create an illness for it. My mother has Alzheimer's. I've seen the development of that disease. I've talked with Alzheimer's associations, and they kind of agree with me that it is like our social behaviors create an illness, so that when you diagnose one person, you think that the patient is the problem, where no, it's society. Reagan wanted to be, well-liked. He wanted to be the hero. He was a movie star. He had the, look at me as a leader. So what did he do? He spent a ton of money making everybody like him, not realizing that, oh, there's a price to pay for that. you know, my mom did the same thing. She's very, very nice person, and it was an abusive situation. And instead of doing the right thing, she was constantly blocking out. Her husband was a little abusive, and she couldn't really stop him. She didn't want to leave him because life would be challenging if she left him. Yeah, because abuse tends to increase if you happen to leave. So she's developed this block and deal. Block out every memory of everything that was bad and focus on everything that's good. So now she's stuck on happy and doesn't remember a thing about the past except for everything that's good. Every illness has a cause. Every illness is created by the way we live our lives, and it's a reflection of what's inside you. Alzheimer's is nothing more than, hey, if society wants to live this way, I'd rather just forget about everything. And I've seen so many people that do have Alzheimer's. It's their family dynamics that actually supports it. It's all aspects of the family. It's not. My mother wasn't exactly the only one that was guilty of this. She did what she thought was best within society. We as a society created a world that, yeah, if you leave your husband back in those days, you leave with nothing and you got kids to feed. She really didn't have any direction to go into, but the direction she went into, which was kind of abusive towards me because she never stood up for me, but love, love, love her because she did the very best that she could given the society that we have today. Society actually supports abuse and is not really against it. We'll watch it and shut our eyes and say, oh yeah, life isn't fair. We have zero interest in making life fair. We have a mantra that says life is not fair. Suck it up. Deal with it. So in times to come, if those on the bottom, us little people, want to live by that saying, then life won't be too fair for those rich people coming up. Life is completely fair, and we're all going to get it in the end if we don't all smarten up, because every one of us are screwing up. We're all playing the same freaking game, whether you're on one side or the other. It's still a monopoly game. It's still a slavery game, and you is guilty of sin in sustaining everything that's wrong. Even me. Peace out.